JRTV welcomes you back to the NASCAR Winston Cup Series 2001 season as we head out west to the California Speedway in Fontana, California for the running of the California 500. I'm Joe Kuski. Alongside me, it is once again Trey Bardo in the booth. Trey, this is a newer racetrack, opened in 1997. We've only had 4 races here up until this point, but last season this race was crazy. 3 caution flags during the 50-lap race, a car upside down, and an upset winner. Do you think we're going to see stuff like that here today in the 2001 season?
I mean, we could. I'm starting to think this is a little bit of a super speedway junior type track. I mean, we pretty much see all the same stuff we do at those. So, you never know what to exactly expect here.
Yeah, last season this race, as mentioned, 3 caution flags, a car upside down. 1 caution flag happened on lap 1. It was Brett Sierra and Mitch Corbett that crashed in turns 3 and 4 in lap 1. So we'll definitely be watching that area of the racetrack on the first lap. But Trey, so many storylines to go over before we get to the start of this California 500. Now, obviously, we'll start with the man on pole, Justin Atkins, your replacement, the rookie in that number 29 car, showing out for his team at Richard Childress Racing. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, Trey, while Conrad Evans also starts inside the top 10 and 7th, Sebastian Kukulon for RCR did not qualify. Missed out on speed for this race, along with Nathan Baird and along with Bibby Ruiz. So that is a major upset, Trey, for Richard Childress Racing right off the bat here at California.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, if I gotta defend RCR a little bit, in Kukulon, he's got the newest team at RCR. I mean, it's all new equipment, Joe. The 29 has, my old ride and all that stuff, my old team, but the 30, I mean, it's all brand new stuff, so they're gonna come along with kinks along the way.
Yeah, and obviously we're seeing that kinks right here. And Nathan Baird, obviously disappointing there in the 60 car, missing out because he did really well at Daytona, won a duel at Daytona, and obviously along with Bibby Rose, who finished last in the 500, not how he wanted to come out to California. He wanted to try and obviously qualify for this race. He'll also not start this race here in California. 2 cars failed inspection. Luke Rennie, the 88, and the 11 of Logan Williams. Luke, a major story there because he was starting in 7th before that happened. He'll be starting back in 41st. Logan Williams back in 42nd. And some other storylines from qualifying. Joe Gibbs Racing didn't have the best practice results, but they start 3rd and 8th, Trey. Meanwhile, Hendrick Motorsports struggling big time here at California. Their highest starting driver is Brett Sierra in 12th.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange, with JGR, like you said, they didn't do the best in practice, but that's a good thing about having teammates is you can share notes, see what went wrong, see what worked for you, and, I mean, it seems to work out with them, both starting in the top 10 here, and then she said for HMS, they're not doing the best, but we know they got speed. I mean, Brett Sierra won the 500 last week, and, along with his help from the teammates of the 24 and the 5, so we'll have to see if they can turn around here during the race.
Yeah, Keegan Thompson was 38th on speed and qualifying, so you definitely want to try and pick it up here in the race. As you can see, it is a little bit of an overcast day, but we're expecting clear skies throughout the race as we get into it here in California. 79 degrees. It's a very nice day and a slight breeze southwest at 3 miles an hour. A slight chance of rain at 10%, but Trey, I don't think we're going to be seeing any rain during this race here in Fontana, California. It's a 2-mile racetrack, 14 degrees of banking in the corners, 11 degrees on the front stretch, and 3 degrees on the back stretch. Once again, opened in 1997 and held his first race in 1997, and of the 4 winners, 2 go to Jeff Wright from 97 and 99. Trey Rainey won this in 98, and last season, obviously, Lathan Strickland, the upset winner for Andy Petrie Racing, won that one. It's a 50-lap race. Fuel window 28 to 30 laps, and then go just over half the race on fuel and tires, so we'll see how that plays into it. If we get some yellows, how does the strategy shake out in this one will be something to watch out for as well. So it's about time to get the command to fire the engines up for racing here at California. Let's go down trackside for the most famous words in motorsports to kick off the second race of the season.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines are fired. 42 cars work their way off the starting grid to do battle here in California. And another storyline coming out of qualifying, Trey, is the man who starts in second place, Nolan Lawrence. He started second in this race last season, was upside down in that race, though. But he starts second again for the smaller team, Trey. What a great storyline for Nolan Lawrence.
Yeah, I know he'd like to get a little bit of payback, as you said. I mean, he was upside down. In these corners, in fact, I mean, you think he's having a little bit of a deja vu moment coming through it?
Yeah, he's definitely looking back being like, all right, let's make sure it doesn't happen like it happened last season. And especially for the man in 6, he doesn't want to have it happen like it happened last season. Keyshawn Richardson was leading, coming to 2 to go. Had to pit for fuel, Trey, ended up losing that race. What do you think he's thinking right now as he comes to take the green flag in 6th place?
Make sure he doesn't have to pit with 2 laps to go while leading the race. I mean,
Right.
it's oh so close, but just can't grasp it. Maybe he gets redemption.
Yeah, Fuel Man's going to be getting more fuel in that car this time for sure. And starting in 10th, Lathan Strickland won this race off that misfortune. Kukulon led the most laps last season. Strickland, though, snuck by in the last lap to get victory. He starts 10th for a bigger team. Do you think he can try and repeat that magic from last season?
I think it definitely can happen, but there's a lot of other drivers that make sure that does not want to happen, so we'll have to see what comes out of it.
There are some great mix of teams at the front of the field and at the front. Richard Childress Racing and Justin Atkins, the rookie. 3rd in the 500, pole here at California. Can he try and get that first career victory in just his 2nd start of his career? We're about to find out. Pace car in, Atkins, Lawrence the front row. We're green flag racing at the California Speedway. Trey down the backstretch. You mentioned this is a junior super speedway. Look at this early 3x3 at the front of the field. Jericho to the inside for the lead.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Justin was able to get a good run off the bottom there coming onto the backstretch, but the 18 was able to get a run. As you can see, we're already spreading out here, almost 4 wide in some situations, but most of it kept 3x3. I mean, Joe, one good thing is that, I mean, we kept the green on the first lap this time around.
Yeah, last season we did not get this far under the green flag as they complete the first lap. Jericho with the lead, 5 bonus points there towards the championship. Now Evans to the inside. They're packed 3 wide behind the front 2. Evans for the lead. Well, oh, into the wall, hard in the back. 3 cars, and it looks like it's going to be Mitch Corbett, Keegan Thompson, and Jack Haas.
That's not what you want to see, but I mean, Keegan did start in the back of this thing, and that is one thing you have a chance of happening is that if you start in the back of that, you're going to get caught up in the wreck.
They're almost wrecking again. Burnett and Collins
Oh
with an
my
amazing
goodness.
save for the 12. Look at them scatter around trying to get back to the caution flag.
I always said that's one of the scariest things is racing back to that, you know, caution flag just because, you know, everyone's trying to get their position, so it's almost like they're racing on the last lap.
Yeah, and I mean, now you have to be careful when you're under the yellow. You have to make sure you don't turn yourself. Look at the 43 diving down, trying to just get low and make sure he's out of the way, as everyone's going to try and now keep their cars together and try and get in line because you never know what the pit strategy could be. Your crew chief might want you to come down now, Trey.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's really doing everything, but I think some people might have expected a caution to happen so early, especially with what happened last season and how many there were, so we'll have to see what everyone's thinking, but yeah, I mean, early trouble again this time around.
Yeah, and this time, you know, some major hitters. Keegan Thompson, obviously, this is not the start to the season he was looking for in the 5 car. He's going to be done. Jack Haas and Mitch Corbett, obviously also involved. It's tough for Corbett, who wrecked on the first lap last season. Trey, now he's wrecking on the 2nd lap here.
Yeah, those cars have some pretty heavy damage, so it must have been a big hit. But right here, I mean, the 31 of Conrad Evans, he did good last time. I mean, he did good last season, you know, but made a rookie mistake, and we'll have to see how it goes around this time as everyone else starts to file down pit road.
Yeah, a whole field's coming down, so we'll see what the strategy is. Obviously, with so few laps on the tires, you wouldn't expect to see 4 tire changes, maybe 2 tires, but I would expect maybe just fuel only for most of these drivers on pit road here.
I mean, I wouldn't expect tires at all. These guys have, what, just over 1 lap on tires? So we'll have to see what everyone's thinking here. I mean, I do see some tires getting changed.
Yeah, some right side, some just fuel only, but I doubt many 4 tire changes on pit road. But Evans and Wells leave. Looks like that's Walker Davis with no tires along with Lawrence. Jericho's actually putting on 4 tires here. So
I think the 43 also put on 4 tires as well.
Yeah, so we'll see a mixed bag here. We're going to see this field shake up again. We have some 4 tires, some 2 tires, and some no tires there. So at the front of the field, the no tire call for Evans keeps the lead. Wells still in 2nd. Davis up to 3rd, and it's a mix of cars back behind. We'll go see the reason for the first yellow flag happened towards the back of the field. It looks like there's a heavy impact in turns 1 and 2. 3 wide to turns 1 and 2, Trey. And obviously, this being a newer racetrack, the groove is not widening out. There's not enough room for 3 wide here. And look at this tremendous impact for all 3 of these cars into the outside concrete.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to hurt. Oh my goodness. Keegan Thompson, all 4 tires are off the ground on that car.
Yeah, he's lucky that Jack Haas was actually there. Otherwise, that car probably would have been tumbling down the banking. But obviously, a tremendous impact for all 3 of those guys. They'll be done for the day. But that was a heavy impact. That was just at, you know, a third the speed. Let's go back now, real time, real speed, to see just how tremendous this impact was. Look at this, real speed, 3 wide to the corner, and look at this, Trey. That is tremendous.
I mean, I'm a guy that likes to keep it honest, and I got to put that on Jack Haas in a 93. I mean, it just kind of looks like he tried to clear those two guys and just couldn't get it. It lost the traction and went right up the track and sadly collected the 5 and the 66 as bystanders.
And look at this right here. Look at Collins and Burnett. That is an amazing save for the 12 car.
Did he get a shove? It looked like he got a little bit of help from the 17.
Yeah, it looked like he did. That was a scary, scary moment for Collins and Burnett for sure, but they luckily got away with it just fine, and everyone that got back to the caution flag is still rolling on. At the front of the field, it's a mixed bag on strategy. Evans and Wells, they take no tires. They keep the lead while some others behind took 2, and a lot of the field took 4. This will be an interesting restart to see how the tire strategy plays out here in the California 500 at the California Speedway. Coming back to the green flag here at the California Speedway for the California 500, just coming out to complete the 5th lap of the race, and 3 cars are to the garage and done for the day, Trey. Jack Haas, Keegan Thompson, and Mitch Corbett leaves us 39 cars left running. Some cars stayed a little bit longer on pit road, like Mitchell Collins, to repair damage that they got racing back to the yellow flag, but they should be just fine to continue on up to speed, as at the front of the field, it's Conrad Evans leading in the 31, Mathis Wells in 2nd, Walker Davis in 3rd, Nolan Lawrence 4th, Eli Bright 5th. How about Brandon Bilp to 6th? You have Ryan Wilson in 7th, Tim Gary in 8th, 9th place for the number 6 of Jordan Stout, and running out the top 10, Chris Jericho. We saw Jericho. He's the first car on 4 tires, Trey. Do you think he'll be very aggressive on this restart?
I'm really curious to see how that 4-tire call works, because, I mean, we only have a lap on these tires, so they got to be pretty even. If not, they are even, so we'll have to see what happens here. I watched the 43 as well, because I know he took 4.
Yeah, and the only real advantage might be no heat cycle on the set of tires, so we'll see how the front runners do and how the guys on 2, how the guys on 4 do. As Evans steps on the gas, we're back going. Wells in 2nd, Davis in 3rd, jumps to the outside with Lawrence in 4th, Eli Bright in 5th. There goes Brandon Bill to the outside, but where's Jericho? Already looking low on Jordan Stout. Here comes that 43 as well, looking low on Justin Seidel.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as that green flag dropped, those guys were ready to make moves, and you can see Chris Jericho is going to be really aggressive here. Maybe a little bit of contact there with Tim Gary in the 10.
And down the backstretch for the lead comes Mathis Wells. Eli Bright stepping out 3 wide. That DI power this season really showing in the opening 2 races. He led the most laps in the 500. Got a top 10 there. Sits 5th in points right now, Trey. And so far, Eli Bright making big moves up to 3rd place for that number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet.
You got to think that him and, Lathan Strickland, his teammate, talked about this race a little bit, considering that Lathan won it in an underdog-type car. Oh, they're both in really good equipment, so maybe it's working out for them.
3 wide to the bottom goes Jordan Stout, looking on Jericho and Evans. This results in a wreck last time, and it looks like Evans lifts to give Jericho the room to slide up. What a great call by Evans right there.
Yeah, that could have been very bad, especially at the very front of the pack there. I mean, that was a very aggressive move there, and luckily it didn't cost anyone.
They almost went 4 wide right there. They're still making contact.
I don't know how they're saving these cars.
This is insanity at the California Speedway. Meanwhile, look at this, Trey. Nolan Lawrence for Oscar Motorsports leads this race. An underdog leads again in California.
I mean, I know it's only the beginning of the race, but that's a pretty decent-sized lead, too. That was about 3 or 4 car lengths right there, but they're going to catch him right back up. The 6 is going to make another dive into the corner.
Look at Fitzwater, 4 wide to the bomb on Sierra and Hernandez and Wells. That can't work.
You think Fitzwater is trying to prove me wrong?
I think he is. I mean, what'd you say? You would donate $50 if he to a charity if he won a race this season?
Yeah, he was trying to flaunt his stuff there, and I said, these cars are a little different, Fitzy. I'll make you a deal. If you win a race this season, I'll donate $50 to a charity of your choice. And I think he's trying to get it done pretty early.
Well, Trey, it looks like over the offseason, these teams the gains that these teams have made, look at how it's resulting in this racing at the front. Look at all the different teams up here battling up inside the top 10, top 15. This is crazy stuff as Ray and Jericho make contact. DeLello to the inside. For the lead comes Anthony Hernandez on Jordan Stout. This is go. They're wrecking again.
That was a lot of cars. Oh, Lathan Strickland's involved. Oh my goodness, this is a big one.
That is huge towards the back. As you mentioned, Strickland involved, some other bigger names involved as well, but we're coming around to complete the 10th lap. Yellow is out. Hernandez for DI will lead it. The battle is for a second back around to the stripe. DeLello on the outside. Spurlington on the inside with Atkins coming 3 wide. DeLello will keep second at the line. As we complete 10 laps, the yellow flag is out. Some more cars involved in accidents. And now, Trey, they had just come down pit road, but we saw how soon they came down after their last, they only did a lap, so they did about 5 here. Would they come down again, do you think?
I mean, for Chris Jericho, it worked out. He was pretty aggressive on that restart, and so the 43 is up there as well. So I mean, this might be where strategies differ at this point, Joe.
Yeah, and that one car also took 4 tires. He's not right now leading this race. You can see how much grip they had, but as you mentioned, maybe if you took 4 here, you stay up. Maybe if you take no tires, you come down now and take 4 tires.
The only thing that makes me a little worried is that we were watching these cars. I mean, if you send it in these corners a little bit, that they drive up the track really hard, and that could wear your tires. So, I mean, maybe it's a give and take here with this situation, but we'll have to see what the drivers and teams are thinking.
Well, the leaders so far are staying out on the racetrack. We'll watch pit in and see if anyone in the field comes in. Obviously, some cars towards the back, their damage will be coming down, but will any of the front runners decide to take that left turn onto pit road? And so far, Trey, I'm seeing no one.
Yeah, so maybe that was the way to go. Everyone was thinking the same thing, is that if we got an early caution, just bring it in. The first car to come in, I believe that was the 23, but I think these are all the guys that were involved in that big wreck.
Yeah, those would be some damaged cars that were towards the back and had damage. So the yellow flag is out for the second time. Another accident, turns 1 and 2, this time a little bit bigger. We'll see what happened for the second caution flag here in California. Trey, are you seeing some deja vu right now? 3 wide into turn 1 caused another accident.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you try to send it in these corners, your car just drives up the track after you get about halfway. And right here, the 71 just had no more room. Lathan was there, the 96 was there, and oh, that was a hard hit. That was a full driver's side hit for the 71 there, and then 96 comes back down, really can't control it. May have hit Tim Gary and Conrad there. Got revenge on the 22, though. We had a lot of angry drivers at that 22 after the Daytona 500. And then back into more traffic. Hard hit again right there. 11's going all the way up. Collects a 36. Hard hit for the both of them. Oh, the 22 smacks the outside wall. 7's involved. The 21 sliding up. Maybe doesn't have that much damage. I can't really tell from this angle. But, Joe, I mean, super speedway, it's the big one.
Yeah, this was about 5-6 cars involved in this one. That was a pretty big crash. We'll look at it again, but yeah, as you mentioned, almost 10 cars involved in this one, and one of them being last season's winner of this race, Lathan Strickland. We'll take a look at it once again from another angle and at full speed. 3 wide to turn 1, and you can see that the gray area, the dark area of the racetrack, and how just it's not that wide because of how new the track is. So obviously that could be causing some incidents with it as well. But right here, as you mentioned, Trey, some very hard hits in this one. But the tough break for Hunter and Beal is that they missed the 500. They're involved in this one. Obviously, Jay Randall involved in this one, who had a tough 500, as you mentioned. And somehow, it was Beal that kind of drove down into Randall, but Beal wasn't in the 500. So he didn't really get impacted by Randall. Maybe he was taking out some anger for some other drivers, Trey.
Yeah, I think quite a few drivers in this field right now that might owe Beal a drink after this thing. We'll have to see the conversations in the garage areas after this, or in the media room. But yeah, there's some very hard hits. 36, hopefully, not hopefully, luckily is the word I was looking for there. Holy, I'm a little hungover. Sorry about that. But everyone's able to drive away. Doesn't really look anyone's possibly in any big pain.
Yeah, thankfully everyone did drive away from that crash. Looks like unscathed, as Anthony Hernandez leads for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated at California. Can one of those drivers left in the race try and get it done? We'll find out. The Pennzoil Chevrolet leads the California 500 under the second yellow flag. Coming back to the green flag this time by at California, and Trey, we have a lot more retirees from this second caution flag of the day, including Logan Williams, Evan Hunter, Brandon Beal, Jamie Stammer Jr., and Jay Randall. Tough break for them. But Trey, we have some damaged cars after the race, like Lathan Strickland, Jacob Boyd, and Jose Mills. We expect to see how that, if we stay green long enough.
Yeah, if we stay green long enough. But I feel like these guys might have a little better chance of passing these lap cars, considering that it's a little bit wider than Daytona. So we'll have to see what happens. But again, that is if if we catch the lap cars.
A little bit wider and a little more off throttle, tend to try and make up the difference to try and get by them. 31st on back were the ones that came down pit road, led by Laura Chung, Jose Mills, Jacob Boyd, Lathan Strickland. Obviously got some damage from that crash. They're trying to repair it as best they can, get themselves back out there, and maybe gain some more spots in case some more accidents happen. At the front, though, it's a mixed bag of cars and teams. Anthony Hernandez for DI leads. In second place, it's Stilello. Third place for Spurley Tube. Atkins in fourth. Fifth for Stout. They have Burnett in sixth. Jericho seventh. Wells in eighth. Roger Ray, that team won last season with the 33 in ninth. And rang out the top 10, Roberto Crown Jr. We're back going in California. Look at this. Dive to the outside by the 29, the 6. And here comes Burnett to try to pick up the scraps in the 17.
Yeah, I was a little curious about the 3 of those guys jumping out to the outside that quickly. I mean, I know you can't pass on the bottom before the start-finish line, but it seemed like the only one that really benefited was the 17 there.
Matthew Burnett, you know what, though? That 17 car with Kukulan led the most laps in this race last season, almost won it, so finished second in that one. So you have to know that Burnett has, you know, some momentum going into this one. As here comes his teammate Stout to the inside, 3 wide. My gosh, these Roush boys, Trey, they have not played along well with each other at all so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to do good and, you know, hopefully get good point standings here by the end of the season, they're going to start to work together there. I mean, it does not seem like they want to do anything together.
And we saw at Daytona at one point they were 3 wide for the lead on each other. And now here they are, you know, sending in on each other. Keyshawn Richardson coming up the inside the 99. Atkins split the middle between Burnett and Wells, trying to get some spots off that, trying to clear the 20 so he can get down onto the inside lane. But Wells keeping it tough, but Atkins might actually get it done right here into turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like wherever Atkins is, Wells is right there with him. And you can see some other guys coming. Zidell in the 24. You got Brett Sear, last week's winner, in the 25, making himself known. Is that the 0-1 I see starting to come into the picture?
Yeah, Team Samco, the 0-1. They haven't really made much noise so far this season, really. But here's the 0-1 doing well right now and running pretty well inside the top 15 or so, just outside. Oh, they're wrecking for the lead!
Oh!
2 of the front 3 involved, and it's Hernandez and Richardson.
That was a big hit.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, racing back to the line. 2 JGR cars with 1 RCR, so it seems like whatever notes they had coming into this race is working out for them. Looks like Chris Jericho is going to get it, as Matt as well is going to get second. 29 has a run off the top side. Whew. Atkins looks like he got it.
Oh. Trey, I can't believe this race. That was 3 wide for the lead, and the leaders are out.
What's the caution record for this track?
Well, we'll have to get our stat guys to go back and look at that, but we might be breaking that because we're not even halfway. 3rd yellow flag, and now, Trey, the interesting part: the fuel window is 28 to 30 laps. We're right now at 33 to go. They'll be coming to 32 to go. Do you pit now and try and stretch it?
I feel like some of the more aggressive guys might, or what I should say, some of the more underdog guys might. Because, I mean, if you can stretch it and you're an underdog guy, that's some big points right there. What happened with the 29?
So,
is he staying out?
He might be staying out, but maybe do you think the Pontiacs think that they're maybe getting better fuel mileage rather than horsepower?
I mean, they could be here. It seems like quite a few of them are coming down. Looks like they're going to lead off with Chris Jericho. And he has a big gap back to the next guy coming in, so that might help him off here.
Wells is coming in. Is Zidell coming in? Yep, a little bit of hesitation, but his crew chief finally said, "Come," because look at all the guys that are coming behind him. That's a great move to come in now. Oh, look at.
What happened with?
There was some sort of. It looks like someone was staying out. Maybe the 43. Now the 9's staying out as well.
That's a huge hit for that 9.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happened. Obviously under the yellow there, but that was the call right there to come in because look at only a few stayed out, Trey. These guys are not going to have the gap they were hoping for here.
No, not at all. But we'll have to see what happens there. But a lot of stuff to break down here. I mean, he is smoking. Chris Jericho's getting looks like 4 tires off him. The 12 going to do the same thing here. Looks like everyone else is as well. And yeah, we'll have to see how this call works out.
So Jericho on 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, and only a few cars going to be the buffer between Atkins and the 18 of Jericho. Go see what happened. 3rd caution flag out. A lot to unpack from this one. The leaders wreck, and then there was some sort of stack up under the caution flag. 3 wide, down into turn 1, Trey. The 3rd time today we have seen this exact moment. But right here, it's Richardson down to the inside, looking on his teammate DeLello and Hernandez for the lead, and it turns bad.
I mean, Joe, what were we just talking about? These Roush guys, they seem like they don't have very much team chemistry. Because right here, Keyshawn just gets right up into his teammate there, you know, and turns him into the outside. Sadly, the one of Hernandez was just a victim. I mean, he didn't even see that coming.
Yeah, no, and you know, when you're racing for the lead, you don't expect something like that to happen because normally when you're up front, you're around people that are taking it, you know, cautiously and at least safe. And obviously that was not the case here as 2 of the front 3 crash out around the midpoint here in California. 3 wide, Keyshawn on the inside, as you mentioned, Trey, just slides up. There's once again, this groove is just so narrow because the track is so new. And unfortunately, it takes out Hernandez in the process. DeLello does drive away. He gets through. But the unfortunate part, to win the 9-9, they will be done for the day. Hernandez, after having such a great car, and Keyshawn as well with a really good car, both are done for the day in California. Now let's go see what happened under the yellow flag to cause that stack up with the 9 of Edwards and some of the others involved. Trey, I don't want to go over this. How about you take us through it?
Well, I don't know what caused the initial stack up here. With 43 got into the back of the 12, and right here, they just get involved. I mean, I don't know who to put the blame on that. In all honesty, spotters, teams, drivers. I mean, and not to make fun of you, Joe, but Edwards just kind of drove right into the 43.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would like to know what was happening at the front, though. It looked like some people were passing people under the yellow.
I don't know what happened. You would like to think that they were all single file by the time they hit the pit entrance, so there was nothing, like no one was trapped having to go down the pits, but I don't know. And it looked like it cost the race of Edwards and possibly the 23 there. It depends on his damage, Laura Chung. But yeah, how are you feeling right now?
Well, let's go to break. We have Atkins leading in the 29, the 6, the 17 as well, staying along with the 43, and we'll see how they can play this out, staying out, as most of the field behind will have 4 tires and a full tank of fuel to go after these front few. Coming back green at California with under 30 to go. The fuel mileage is going to be very tight if we stay green to the end, but with how this race has been going, Trey, I don't know if we're going to be staying green much longer in this race. Cars out for that one include Hernandez, Richardson, and Edwards. It leaves us 31 cars running, and the cars that, were able to repair some damage from that, that last incident, like Strickland and Mills in them, they're staying out, and they're getting some spots here currently inside the top 30 for those drivers. But the front 4, Trey, stay down the racetrack. That's Atkins, Stout, Burnett, and Roberto Crown Jr. And the 43 has some rear end damage. They're going to have to come down pit road at some point. If we stay green, it will be around the midpoint, if not a little bit later. Meanwhile, the 18, the 20, 97, 24, 55 are the first cars on four tires and a full tank of fuel to possibly try and make it to the end if it stays green. So how will the front 4 do and how will the rest behind do? Atkins on the gas. We're back going at California. 43 pulls to the outside because he knows he has damage. He knows he's slower. He's going to get the inside to the faster cars.
I'm going to put some of my experience and maybe a little bit of crew chief knowledge from arguing with mine all my career that maybe these front 4, or let me rephrase that, front 3 guys that have, not too badly damaged cars are kind of hoping on an early caution here to not lose too many positions, but then you got to think that the guys behind them aren't going to pit, so, I mean, it might hurt them.
The interesting thing will be if we get that early yellow. Oh, look at Jericho. Those 4 tires are working well. You can tell right there the grip he had into the corner for Jericho and Wells. Just, it far exceeded what the 17 and the 29 had even imaginable.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys were thinking, but maybe they know something that we don't.
Yeah, the only thing I think of is, like you mentioned, a quick yellow, and then maybe everyone comes down with them because maybe everyone is still questionable on field, and then they know they're safe to go if they pit then. So that's the only thing I can think of, but it's really costing me. See right there, the cars that stayed out, the 17, 29, and the 6 are on the outside, they're falling back to the 4 tires.
Yeah, I mean, they got to really hope that something happens here, but with the way we've been seeing these guys race, and I mean, it's definitely possible here, but we're starting to get some newer names up here. The 28, I don't think we talked about him as much. The 01 starting to make his charge back up to the front here, but I mean, we'll have to see what all pans out here. What happens to Wells? I mean, he has fresh tires, but he's falling quick.
Yeah, I think he got put to the outside by someone with fresher tires, and then these guys were in the middle. Look out, Fitzwater! No. What a save! Oh my gosh, Trey, have you ever seen anything like that in your career?
I don't think I ever have. I thought that was 3 cars all the way out, but how did they save that?
I have no clue. Somehow, all 3 of them were able to keep together. They're still going. How about, look at the man who's up in second now. It's Luke Erskine up inside the top 5. Luke Rennie's emerged.
He, as you said, before the race even started, he lost inspection, so he went all the way to the back, but he's making his presence known.
But now those issues around the top 5 or so have allowed 3 cars to pull away. It's DeLello, Jericho, and Riley Spurley-Tube that have gotten away. They lead by about 6/10 over 4th place Caden Lynn, then 5th place Luke Ray. These guys are starting to scatter out. That's the opposite of what you want to have happen. Oh, caution's out though. We have a yellow.
Who does it? Oh, that was big damage.
Laura Chung, Pez Evans involved. 17 to Burnett.
17's in the grass.
So
what happened? I mean, that might work out for those 3 guys, though. It wasn't that long.
Yeah, so right here, they were going to have to pit soon as well, because remember, their last pit stop came on lap 2, or on lap 3. So they were going to have to pit soon. They were nearing that window. This caution a very big break, because now they can come down. You can for sure make it from here. The question will be, who else is going to come down with them to try and make sure that they are definitely solid on fuel? Obviously, DeLello leading and some of these others. You can possibly give up track position, because track position we've seen hasn't really meant much here today.
I'm really curious for the Sierra, Fitzy, and Zydell, considering that they had that moment there I wonder if there's any damage from that and if it's affecting their car. We'll have to see from the right side of their car here. Hopefully we get a good camera angle of it. Sierra definitely took the biggest hit. Can't really see that much damage though.
Yeah, those cars look fine now. I think maybe they'd want to pit to maybe get new tires on and get the marbles off because they were way up out of the groove.
It doesn't really look like anyone's pitting though.
Burley Tube is coming in. He wants to make sure he's good on fuel. Obviously, Atkins is coming in because he was one of them that stayed out.
So maybe he gets tires and then has the advantage of that too?
32 and the 6 was also with Atkins on that stretch along with the 43, but we have some guys towards the back that are basically saying, I'm already back here, why not come in?
Yeah, might as well. Conrad Evans was involved in that wreck though, so he's going to have to repair that as well. But as we said, like Lathan Strickland, he got incident earlier, so he's going to fine-tune his stuff here. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what, those front 3 guys are going to have to come out of this.
Yeah, so caution is out for the 4th time today at the California Speedway, just at the midpoint. We'll see what happened. To bring out the yellow, looks like Laura Chung, Conrad Evans, and some others involved in another crash in turns 1 and 2. Turns 1 and 2, they're getting the most airtime today, Trey. And I mean, you thought it was going to be the 4 wide up front that caused the crash. It was actually behind this 4 wide which caused the crash.
Oh, this is just wow. Look how far back the 4 is. All right, look how far back he is. And then he's going to send it, but you would think that these drivers just learned. I mean, I'm not trying to bag on the 4, but come on now. And then, look how close that was to the 26. Conrad Evans just, you think he might need a new fire suit after this?
Yeah, Lawrence definitely needs, if he was looking at his mirror, right? Maybe he was looking up front because he was trying to save the car, but if he saw his mirror, he's definitely coming down pit road immediately for a new change of a fire suit.
That was, wow, that was crazy. But yeah, again, like I said, I mean, I think we all know who to put the blame on for that one. It was just a mistake, and it cost quite a few drivers.
You have to think maybe Pez for missing the 500, trying to make it up, get some points there, but not the way to do it for Diego. He now is damaged. He might be done for the day. We know for sure Laura Chung done, and Evans as well with Burnett got some damage. Now we'll take a look at full speed here for this crash. Here it is again, same angle, but as you mentioned, Pez so far back, Train, he just dives it in. Somehow the 4 right up front didn't cause an accident, but Lawrence, very lucky, as you mentioned, to make it through. Chung with a hard hit along with Pez and Evans. The 31 should be able to continue on, maybe the 4 as well, but the 23 definitely done for the day here in California. That was the 4th caution flag of this race, just at the midpoint. DeLello leads. The back half of the field comes down pit road for fuel and tires. We'll see how that plays out in terms of the strategy over the rest of this race. So go back with around 20 laps to go here in the California 500. Green flag will come out with 31 laps to go here in California. Some fuel strategy, some fuel mix-ups are definitely shaking up the running order. We have some more retirees from the crash, including Laura Chung, Diego Pez, and Matthew Burnett. 28 cars are left running. One of the big storylines, though, Trey, right here with 1 to go. Matt as well as in pit road still up there with the right side jacked up.
The right side's been jacked up for quite a while, so I mean, we did see him fall back there quite with some pretty fast pace after just pitting, so maybe he might have had some damage or suspension issues or something going on with that car.
Well, he's luckily able to get going now, but he's going to have to get caught up quickly. I don't know if he's going to be able to take the green flag with the field. So at the moment, DeLello leads, Jericho in second. How about Caden Lynn up to 3rd for Team Sapco? Luke Rainey up to 4th from, failing inspection. Running out the top 5, Mitchell Collins with a good run. They have Walker Davis up to 6th. How about Tim Garrett for MB2 Motorsports up to 7th? Sierra 8th after his great save along with Fitzwater and Zidell. They round out the top 10. How about the 40 also up inside the top 15 for Team Sapco? Eli Bright, Ronald Kennington, Nolan Lawrence, some smaller names towards the front, but at the moment, Riley Spur to first car off pit road in 16th, along with the number 32, 44, 45, and all the others behind. They came in. We'll see how it goes as we're back green in California.
Oh, Joe, our stats guys got back to us. It's the record's 5 cautions. So,
so 1 more to tie.
Yeah, we might be breaking it today.
I hope not, Trey, but with how this race has gone, these drivers have a handful whenever they're 3 wide turns, 1 to go. See some of the damaged cars towards the back, holding up some of the guys towards the back. Atkins' last car in this main draft at the moment in that number 29 car. The front 3 getaway single file side by side for 4th. 0 to the inside, number 12 of Collins with Walker Davis come behind him. That's how they kind of finished the Daytona 500, 25 and 19.
I mean, just looking at this field, Joe, it looks like we're running the duels again. We have barely anyone left in this thing. It's crazy, but with these drivers that are left, we know they're some of the fastest in this pack today, so we might still have some good racing on our hands.
Zidell shooting out 3 wide. This is how most of the accidents have been caused.
Oh, no!
Oh, my gosh. Walker Davis on his side in the 19. Will it get back on all fours? It will. 5th caution flag is out.
Do you think that Davis got a little nervous watching Zidell dive it in there again?
You have to think, right, that, seeing a car dive low 3 wide, you get a little nervous. You're in the middle or the outside. And that's what causes these accidents. 4 cars racing back. DeLello with the lead. Jericho second. Sierra Rainey right there. Zidell, but the field is down one more. And this time it's number 19 of Walker Davis, and we hope he's okay. That was a tremendous impact into the wall, and obviously, luckily that car tray did not start tumbling when it came off the wall.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse than from what it was, but hopefully he is okay, and we'll have to take a look back at it, see if we can maybe tell what the driver did. I honestly want to say he got nervous. I mean, Zidell did dive it in there, but it never made contact with the 19.
So we're coming back to 18 to go. Obviously, we know the guys towards the back of the field are good on fuel, but this is really helping Trey. These drivers at the front that did not pit that last time, they're just saving fuel under these yellow flags, making sure they can make it the distance. Remember, they pit with around 32 to go. The field will know 28 to 30 laps. So they need to save all they can, Trey.
Yeah, I mean, this is also kind of helping the 28 and the 29. I mean, they pit with 4 tires, so this isn't really going to wear their tires at all, but they have a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, they do. They're still trying to come through the field. Mathews Wells says helps him if he can get by some of these damaged cars, as he had just come off pit road, was not with the pack. Now he is with the pack as the 12, leaving pit road with that damage, and I don't think he's going to fall lap down. He'll stay on the lead lap, so he's fine work there by his pit crew to get him out in front of the pace car and stay on the lead lap. 5th caution flag. We tie the record for California. Let's go see what happened to Walker Davis in the 19. Traits another scenario, entering down to turns 1 and 2. Zidell looking out on Davis, but this time I don't know if it was necessarily the guy on the inside's fault in this crash. It might have been actually Walker Davis trying to think he was clear of the 12 of Mitchell Collins.
You'd have to think maybe spotter driver error right there. I mean, look at the amount of room that he gave the 24, but then just didn't see the 12 on its outside or something else, and then got turned into the outside wall and watched his hit. Oh,
yeah, and then the 12
almost took out the caution light. He
almost hit the caution light. Then that would have been a lot longer of a repair. Might have been a red flag for that one. Fortunately for Davis, that car obviously slides on its side for a long time, but it doesn't tumble off the wall. As you can see right there, the front starts to come off before the rear, which really helps it get back down to all fours right there. That is the 5th caution, tying the record at Fontana in just the 5th race here at the track. It's been a crazy one. Let's go take a look at this wreck once again. Here it is again, Trey, take us through it. That 3 wind to turn 1.
I gotta say, spotter driver mistake right there, and just gets turned hard hit though. And 19, is that why you got the 19 facing that way, so we could see it if it ever comes out like this?
I think that's. Do you think that Winston Cup Series officials thought of that whenever they were making the numbers face the infield? If they're riding the wall, you can see it easily.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. You never know. But I know that you'll have some fun times talking to your team after this, watching the playback during the week until we get to the next one.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be an expensive weekend. We're gonna have to talk about a few procedures during the week. But these front 4, they don't talk about procedures, including DeLello. He's led a lot of laps here today, and he leads under this yellow flag, coming back green with around 15 to go at California. So, Trey, we'll take the green flag with 15 to go. We have one more added to the garage area. That's 19 of Davis. There's only 27 cars left, Trey, of the 42 that entered the race. It's been carnage-filled here today in California with 5 yellow flags through the first 35 laps so far. Can we keep the final 15 caution free? We'll have to see, as it's 97 leading of DeLello. Jericho right now in second. Luke Rainey up to third. Brett's here looking for back-to-back. Hendrick did not look good in qualifying, but here they are. 4th and 5th with Zidell there inside the top 5. Tim Garrett for MB2 up to 6th. How about Kaden Lynn for Team Savco in 7th? Andy Peachy Racing's Roger Ray still in it with a fight in 8th. Fitzwater still in 9th. And how about Noah Lawrence for Hoscar Motorsports start second in this race? Just missed that crash, 2 crashes to go, but Trey, he's currently in the top 10.
I mean, he's doing a great job. I think he fell back during the race, if I'm not mistaken, but he's fighting his way back up here. So let's see if that trend continues and can get back up even farther into the top 10.
Yeah, so let's watch the first car that came off pit road with the tires in the field. Noah Clifton, the 32. So he passed ProTube there on that last that last restart. Now he's the furthest guy forward with the fuel that we know to make it for sure. Back green. To the inside comes Brett Sierra on Luke Rainey for third. What a great restart for the 25.
So remember last restart I said 5 cautions was the record.
Yep, well, we've tied it, Trey.
Tied with it. We almost just broke it, but I hate to say it, but it might be looking like we're going to break it today.
Well, Trey, how about Noah Clifton here? I just mentioned he was the first one with the fuel we know to make it, and look at how he's moving in that PPI Motorsports underfunded car.
I mean, he's got nothing to worry about, Joe. He's safe. He can push his car all the way till the end, and looks like that's what his plan is to do here. Let's see how far he can make it up the field.
Well, Trey, he's looking 3-wide to turn 1. We know how that's worked out in the past few incidents. We'll see if it works this time. Gary in the middle, Zadell up top, Clifton down low, 3-wide. They all give each other the run to make it through just fine.
That was a little different, though. I mean, the guys knew that he was a little bit farther ahead than, you know, the 24 and the 2, so they had a little bit of a heads up compared to what we saw in the past where it's a driver from way behind forcing it. And right here, Brett Sears taking the lead, and looks like Luke Rainey might be wanting to get a little bit of a sniff of that.
First time today, Brett Sears led our Daytona 500 champion, moving forward in the 25, looking for back-to-back. If you mentioned after qualifying, Trey, that Hendrick Motorsports would be leading this race, I would have called you crazy with how bad they were.
Yeah, I mean, well, a little bit of everything went their way. Cautions, you know, missing the wrecks, minus Keegan Thompson, and
look at
Clifton!
Clifton!
They found speed throughout.
Oh, they're wrecking again, Trey!
Oh no! Oh no!
Fitzwater's involved. Lawrence, the 44 of Oskin, is done. Record 6th caution at California.
Yeah, we still have over 10 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, and look at, they're racing back hard because they know this track position means so much. How about Noah Clifton, though? Up to 3rd. Jordan Stout as well with better tires and fuel, up to 5th in the 6 car.
These restarts are just going to get crazier and crazier, especially with these guys that pit and know they're safe. It's going to get, oh!
I think Clifton got scared about Brett there. He was just like, where's he going?
All right, yeah, they're fine now. They're settling it out. But Joe, this race is something else. I think we've had more cautions or more laps under the caution than we have under green.
I think we may have, Trey. I mean, this is unlike anything we've ever seen at California before. You know, last season the crashes happened in 3 and 4. This season they all have been entrants of 1 and 2.
I wonder if it's all been the same thing too. I mean, you'd have to think about it. There's a good chance that it was another 3-wide situation.
Yeah, we'll go and check, obviously, what happened. 6th caution flag, the record for most here at the California Speedway. Brett Sierra leads over Chris Jericho. We'll go green with under 10 to go, but let's go see happen very quickly to bring out the 6th caution flag of the day. Well, Trey, this is the record-breaking 6th caution here at California. 3-wide to turn 1 again, but do you think that there's a different factor? Obviously, the wind going southeast, which is from turn 3 to turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, we just looked it up. We didn't think about looking it up before this replay, and then we were like, huh, well, let's get a view from our weather guy, and he confirmed it. Just the 26 is bad luck, but just look at this. Just oh my goodness.
Yeah, that Oskin obviously going to be feeling that one. Fitzwater, pretty hard contact. Spurdup had that car on top of him. He's able to drive away. And as you mentioned, Nolan Lawrence was lucky in that one accident. Unfortunately, not as lucky in this one. The 26 involved, and definitely a lot of damage on that Hoscar Motorsports machine. We'll go take a look at this once again in real time. Down into turn 1, 3 wide. As you mentioned, Trey, that wind blowing from turn 3 to turn 1. And it looks like it's just catching these drivers off guard, and right there, Oscar with a tremendous impact.
Well, Lawrence didn't get so lucky this time around now, did he? I mean, last time he barely missed it. This time he got collected, and it was a pretty big hit, too. I hope the 44 is all right with that one after this. We'll have to see after he comes out of the infield care center. And I'll be curious to see what Fitzy thinks of that. That's his first big, NASCAR wreck. And we'll have to see how he feels about it after this race concludes.
That was his first crash with having doors and a roof. So maybe he felt a little bit safer when crashing this one. But Brett Sierra, he knows a thing or two about crashes from last season. He missed the final few races, but now he's leading, looking to go back-to-back to start the season. But also watch for Noah Clifton, who looks like he has some better fuel and tires in 3rd place. This could be an incredible restart with under 10 to go here at the California Speedway. Trey, we're going to take the green flag with 8 to go. If this is not the final yellow flag, they have about 3 laps to crash until it ends under the yellow. If we get a yellow within the final 5 laps straight, this race is over under the caution. Cars out, we have the 44 of Oskin and the 2 of Fitzwater. And Trey, 25 cars left running, but the big story, the guys that know they are good on fuel. In fact, I think everyone should be good on fuel with how many yellows we've had, but just in case, we know for sure the 32 in 3rd, the 6 in 5th, the 45 in 10th, the 29 in 11th, we know for sure of the top 12, those drivers are good on field. They have better tires. We'll see how they play it out, especially Clifton, Trey, for a smaller team moving through the field, coming to 8 to go on the restart.
Yeah, we'll have to see how everything goes out here as Brett Sierra takes the restarting flag right now. He got a good jump on Chris Jericho there. I think he caught him off guard.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the guy in second's really been caught off guard every restart. You can see Clifton had to stay behind Jericho, and Zidell got a good restart as well in the 24. He'll take it to the inside for 3rd place here on the 13. It might give him 2nd, but Jericho's going to come down and shut the door on that. Luke Rennie shuffling Jordan Stout aside, so the 2 cars that we mentioned had better tires and better fuel. In fact, everyone with better tires and fuel is put to the outside.
Maybe that's the strategy by those guys that know they have a little bit more to lose if they can't make it, that try to get them on the outside as quickly as possible here. The real story, though, Joe, is that you said they have about 3 laps to get a caution out if another one does happen. Is it going to happen? I mean, from the way it's looking, there's a good chance it does.
They were almost looking 3 right back here. Ray's trying to block Lynn to make sure that doesn't happen, but Lynn is still taking it to the inside anyway. 3 wide to turn 1.
What's going to happen? Are they going to be able to keep it clean? Oh, the 0-1 pushed up, but seems like they kept it clean so far.
They're keeping it clean. Meanwhile, at the front, Zidell clears teammate Sierra to lead this race. Justin Zidell won at a 2-mile at Michigan last season. Now he leads the 2-mile in Fontana, coming around to 6 to go, but Sierra's still right there. Now looking to the inside again.
Noah Clifton got to the bottom, Joe. Remember how aggressive he was last time around? We'll see if he can carry it right now, but like you said, Brett Sierra is taking the lead. He's going to be able to lead this time around. Looks like he is, and Luke Rainey's on his tail.
And we know Luke has a fast car, qualified 7th on speed, but inspection issues put him back. Now Harry's charging to the inside in turn 1 for the lead. Started 41st. He'll lead in turns 1 and 2 with 6 to go.
What's going to happen coming down this backstretch? Is the 97 going to get a run, or is Luke Rainey going to be able to defend it off of him here? It doesn't really look like anyone's going to try to make a move going into 3.
DeLello's led the most laps today. That 97 now going for 2nd. Roger Ray, Andy Peacher Racing won this race last season. Here he is. And how about Eli Bright inside the top 10, the 8 car?
I know during commercial break we were talking about it. After all this, he's just kind of been running midfield here, but maybe he was just waiting until the end of this race to start making moves up to the front.
Well, he has 5 to go. Yellow flag would end this race short. Can they make it all 5 laps without a yellow flag is the big question. Atkins starting to move inside the top 10. Remember, better fuel and tires. Tim Gary following him through. Jericho get put to the outside by the 6 of Jordan Stout. DeLello still leads off Roger Ray. Zidell. Here comes Caden Lynn for 3rd. Eli Bright with them, and Atkins coming down low 3 wide. It's all kicking off at California. Coming back to 4 to go, Trey. And here comes Zidell for 2nd.
They're getting so close to making contact with each other, but the 24 has got... Actually, Eli Bright's to the inside now. 3
wide. Can they make it work? Back around. 4 to go. DeLello trying to keep it out front lead. Eli Bright coming for 2nd. Atkins looking 3 wide now for 2nd. The 29 to the inside. Jordan Stout with them. Can they make it work through 1 and 2? They won't! Gary Sierra, there goes the 29 the 8! This is for the win, and it's 2 Roush cars leading the way!
Well, we talked about earlier that they didn't have very good chemistry, but they're 1-2 right now, Joe. Are they going to be able to hold it? The 97's for sure, but this is a 6. It looks like the 6 is for sure as well.
I think it's going to be a Roush 1-2 with DeLello winning. He came for Petty Enterprises last season, switched over to Roush Racing, the better team. Looks like he's going to get to victory lane. His teammate Stout also moved to Roush, will end up in 2nd. Zidell, how about Caden Lynn with the top 5 for Savco? How about Mathis Wells back up to 6th?
What just happened? I don't know what just happened on those last few seconds of that lap. Oh.
Well, Trey, we broke the record with 6 cautions. We've now extended the record with 7.
Is that something to brag about, though?
I don't think so.
I think there was 2 wrecks on that last lap, though.
Look at Eli Bright. We mentioned how he was running mid-pack, moved up, and now he's involved. He and Atkins were involved, and then it was Tim and Brett involved in the other one. There were 2 accidents in this lap. There's Brett. He's gotten away with right side damage. Pretty good right side damage.
You would think that those guys would feel confident around each other, especially since they had Tim Gary fill in for Brett Sierra.
Yeah.
So we'll have to take a look at the replay whenever we get the chance to look what happened went there. But dramatic last couple laps here, Joe.
Yeah, that was That was insane. Zach DeLello with the lead in the 97, coming back to 2 to go. We'll go step away, take a look at a replay very quickly before we get to the checkered flag for that Roush Racing driver, but let's go see what happened. Eli Bright, Justin Atkins, Brett Sierra, Tim Gary. So Trey, 2 separate incidents. The first one that we thought was going to be yellow, Tim Gary and Brett Sierra, but it wasn't going to be a yellow flag when you look at this. Tim Gary racing off into the corner. Looks like that car just gets tight and goes straight up the track, right into Sierra. They'll make contact, get into the wall, but Trey, they never get backwards. I don't think yellow's going to be called for this.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I mean, they kept it going straight, granted with a lot of damage, but I don't think there was going to be a yellow for that at all. But and then as you can see, the smoke in front of Tim Gary here, the 29 of Justin is just facing backwards. 2 separate incidences. I mean, that's a first for the day, but that's just crazy. And then we saw this later. Watch this. Oh my goodness. I think he came so close to hitting that off spot there, but luckily Eli Bright was he was able to drive away, so we're assuming that he was mostly okay.
Yeah, I think he's just a little frustrated with what happened there with Atkins. We'll obviously see what happened with the 8 and the 29, but I think Eli might have a right to be upset. We'll take a look at a replay, though, and see exactly what happened with the 29 and the 8. So, Trey, this is a little awkward. It's a guy you've been mentoring, and your car from last season involved in this one.
Yeah, see, now, I can see why Eli would be mad, but I gotta also defend the old car a little bit here, and then we saw that incident right there. What I think happened was the 29 did make a big move, but you got to think about it. It's near the end of the race, so you got to expect that. And then the 6 looked like he had a run too, so he tried to get underneath Atkins there. And Atkins saw that, tried to give the 6 room, but 4 wide probably was not going to work, especially with the wind heading that way. And it kind of pushed 29 up into Eli. Not saying Eli doesn't have a right to be mad. I would be mad too if I was in his position, but you also got to think, it's the end of the race. You got to start making big moves here.
I was about to say, I don't think Eli's going to be buying what you're selling there, but
I'll have a talk with him after this.
Right.
I'll go down there and have a talk with him, see if we can settle it out.
Well, through all that, Roush Racing, DeLello and Stout, 1-2, coming back to the checkered flag. DeLello looks like it's going to win the California 500, his first ever Winston Cup Series victory. Well, Trey, it was a chaotic race here at California. 7 caution flags in this 50-lap race. That's averaging a caution about every 7 laps. And DeLello's going to win it, and fittingly, Trey, ends under the yellow flag.
Yeah, it's after the 3rd caution, I feel like both you and me knew that it was probably going to end under yellow. I don't think we can say that's not true.
Yeah. Maybe part driver to blame, but maybe mostly Mother Nature to blame with the wind. But as we saw today, some of the powerhouse teams showed out, like Roush, Hendrick, Joe Gibbs. But it's going to end up with Roush Racing 1-2. Zach DeLello, Jordan Stout, both moved over from different teams to Roush Racing. They'll make their move first as they finish 1-2 at California. DeLello winning with Stout second. Zidell with a top 3 result. Caden Lynn for Sabco with a top 5. A good day for those drivers that finished up there, and obviously better than anything they could have really hoped for with how many accidents we happened. They were probably very happy to get out of here with a top 5 or top 10. So we'll take a look, Trey, at the finishing results. Obviously, the 97 of DeLello winning this one. In 2nd place went to Jordan Stout. Zidell with a 3rd place. That could actually be the points to with how good he's done through the first 2 races. Caden Lynn 4th, and Chris Jericho another top 10 result, this time in 5th. His teammate Matt Wells, who had issues, as we mentioned, Trey, on pit road. Didn't even take the green flag with the field on that restart, ends up in 6th. Another Team Sabco car ends up in 7th, Colin Teague. And then Noah Clifton, a good run for PPI Motorsports, in 8th. Luke Ridney from the back of the field after failing inspection in 9th. Running out the top 10, a team that won this race last season, Roger Ray in the 55. Trey, what surprise did you see inside the top 10?
It would have to be, can we just say the top 10 in general? At the beginning of this race, we didn't think it'd be something like this. But with everything going down, there's quite a few underdog drivers that, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see going in the top 10 at the end of this thing.
And Noah Clifton thought had a legit shot to win it. Same with the Team Sabco cars there at the end. Unfortunately, didn't pan out for those drivers, but good day for 2 Petty Enterprises cars. Obviously, one of them was in the air, Samet Oskin, but Roberto Crown Jr., Ryan Wilson, both did pretty strong in this race. 11th and 12th for those 2. How about for Ronald Kennington for Jasper Motorsports? 13th for him. Brett Sierra falls to 14th after being involved in the final yellow flag. Riley Spurgeon as well has the damage 15th. Benny Lynn didn't really have the showing. He was wanting in the 33, but ends up in 16th. And then a lot of these cars down here, Trey, very damaged. How about Evans with that whole left side issue, 17th, and Lathan Strickland, Trey, 20th. Those cars were destroyed.
Yeah, it's to be fair, I feel like if you had a car out of here that doesn't have a scratch on it, or let me rephrase it, a dent on it, consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, I think so. Only 22 cars finished. Collins and Lawrence, the last of them. 23rd on down out for crashes like Eli Bright, Justin Atkins, all the way down to Keegan Thompson and Jack Haas. It was just one of those races today at California. And obviously, I think we're going to have some angry drivers after this one. We saw everyone mad at Jay Randall. I think it's going to be everyone mad at everyone after this one, Trey, because there was a lot to unpack from this one.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of angry people in the garage after this. And I mean, to help us, it gives us storylines for next week.
It does. And next week, you know what? It's another one of these, it's not as crazy as the first two racetracks, but it's another one of these kind of unique racetracks. We're going racing at the Rockingham Speedway, Trey, for the Duraloo 400. What do you expect to see out of that one? Keegan Thompson did very well at this track last season.
Hopefully, maybe he can get some redemption for wrecking out so very early in this race, and hopefully we don't see as much carnage, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some, though.
Tune in next week to JRTV for Rockingham, the Duraloo 400, race number 3 of the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Series. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Ricassi. Thanks for watching the 2001 California 500 and the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Congratulations to Zachary DeLello on winning his first ever Winston Cup Series race here at the California Speedway.